Hello and welcome to another episode of Aussie Pomcast. We're back again. Nat, you're here again.
Yes, still here.
Yeah, I know.
We haven't been taken off air yet. We haven't been fired. So we're still here. And you know what? We're going to jump straight into Royals again this week. Your favourite. Because again, there's been lots going on. Look at these two. Look at them. Look at them. Oh, aren't they brilliant? Future right there. So Kate and Wills are set to have a joint 40th birthday. It's emerged because Prince William this week has celebrated his 40th birthday. And now
so she's already had hers,
she's
right?
had
But
hers.
it was COVID, and so she didn't. Yeah,
she didn't have a proper party because of Rona.
At least shindig.
Not that we know of, unless there's a Boris situation that we get to
God,
hear about. Can you imagine?
Oh God,
the royal shindig that no one knew about. Anyway, as far as we know, there'd be no celebrations, formal celebrations at the palace. So there's going to be one. The Queen's going to host a beautiful party for them. I reckon that will be an absolute riot, at least on the quiet.
No, it won't.
Yeah, I know that they're boring, right? Yeah, I get it. Okay?
Well, that's why it's not going to be a riot.
But think about this, right? Party planners in the family. Kate Middleton's family own a party planning business. Party Piece, as it's called.
Yeah. But they do like bunting and napkins, right?
They're going to do like...
They don't do...
They're going to do that.
Strobe lighting and Fatboy Slim, right?
Maybe they do. I reckon Pippa's going to be there. I reckon this is going to be...
Oh, if Pippa's going to be there, it's going to be one hell of a party.
James and Pippa will be there. I reckon that could be a right party. And Harry and Meghan, I doubt, will be there. I think it'll probably be, you know what, I think the who's who, the dignitaries, you know. Might be a bit of that. But I reckon behind closed doors will be a right party in the palace.
At least 3 beers.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, steady on with those cans of Stella, Wills. Well, they're going to have that older Pippa, mind you. She's preggers. Baby number 3.
Yeah, I did see this, and I decided that
care.
There's not enough space in my brain to accommodate the Queen's grandsons, wives, sisters, kids.
We care about
I'm just
Pippa.
not interested.
We care. Oh. We care. I wonder though whether Prince Andrew will be invited to all of this.
No.
Because, I mean, he's a family member after all. However, William is said to have wanted him to vanish.
I know, I saw that.
So we spoke last week, obviously, about the Jubilee and how William and Charles are said to have stepped in to stop him from attending all the party and all the big schmozzle that went on.
Jubes.
Yeah, the platy jubes. # platy jubes. However, it doesn't look like he'll get an invite to this. Which I mean, well, how can you invite? Like, that's the thing. So Fergie's not going to get an invite. I know she's not a royal anymore, right? But there's something going on there, right?
Well,
we've spoken about that. They're totally together. They're totally together, right? Beatrice and Eugenie, or Eugenie, we call her. They're going to be invited because you've got to invite your cousins along, right?
I don't know. I don't know the rules of a royal 40th. Yeah, it's a
40th,
royal 40th,
you invite
though.
everyone.
There's a lot more politics involved in there. So I just invite my 3 mates and we have a beer. I don't know what the rules of royal 40th
I reckon there's going to be a right party. However, one person that won't be having a big party for his birthday is Prince Andrew, because something interesting that the palace has decided just in the past week. They apparently, now I didn't know that they did this, at the palace they fly a flag for every royal's birthday.
Yep.
However, this year, they're only going, from now on, they're only going to fly the flag for the Queen's birthday. I mean, don't know how many more she's going to have.
Stop going on about that.
Don't laugh, it's Queen. And Charles.
Right.
That's it.
So no flag for Pippa's middle child?
But no flag, interestingly, for Andrew.
Yeah.
And that's because it's said to be to avoid that situation.
Yeah.
And also Harry, you know.
I think there's kind of more and more
all
of these
the
things
royals
kind
that we
of
don't
happening.
want.
But it seems like it's probably a lot of Charles's influence as well. I mean, I think he's quite keen to obviously shrink the royal family and do
not
all
like
that.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, no,
Can
he
you
wants
imagine?
lots of smaller
Hey,
royals.
Wills.
Yeah, exactly. No, but he's obviously trying to get it down to a core few, and obviously it's an easy way of kind of pushing him onto the outer. Yes. I mean, but he's also been in the news again this week because Epstein, another woman has come forward about the Epstein stuff, and he was allegedly at the property at the time of some of it, and so he might get summons for that. And so it's not going away.
Nah, and you've got to protect the monarchy. I mean, one thing I know about watching all the Netflix documentaries about the royals, I know I shouldn't plug Netflix on here, but they always protect the monarchy. That's the thing. That's the main thing. The Queen and the monarch, or whoever it is next, like Charles, has to protect the monarchy. And that's the thing. I mean, this is the way you've got to do it. You have a slimmed down royal family, and not physically, although, you know, they are beautiful. You know, it's give some of the other royals the ass. And I think that's fair enough. Get rid of Andrew and, you know, push out Harry and Meghan while we're there and all the hangers-on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
There is
I'd
a lot
like to
of
see them
hangers-on.
off the public purse a bit as well, while we're at it. Why are they... I mean, I'm not paying taxes over there, but why on earth? Or like Kensington Palace is full of hangers-on.
Right, okay. I mean, a minute ago you're praising Pippa, who's got nothing
Love
to do with the
Pippa.
world.
No, let her in.
Exactly, yeah.
We like Pippa. We like Pippa.
Cool. Anyway, she might get an invite to the birthday. We don't know. It's going to be in one of two places, one of two palaces, I believe.
Yeah.
That's a pretty difficult choice. Which one do we have it at? That one hasn't got an extra pantry. But yeah, so they're going to do it there. I mean, either way, they're probably going to get chauffeured there, right? They're not going to be getting on the old...
Don't get an Uber.
They're not going to get on Uber, and they're certainly not going to get a tube, are they?
They're definitely not going to be getting... I see where you're going with this. I get it. We're going to talk about the rail strike, aren't we? I think we have to talk about the rail strike.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. Yeah,
well done.
Thanks.
We have to talk about this. So this is an absolute schmozzle. And I tell you what, we're talking now about a country well and truly on its arse in terms of transport right now. And we've talked before about, the cost of fuel. Mm-hmm. We've talked about the airline chaos. Now look at this. I mean, this is a rail strike as well that's happening. So you've got basically, unless you've got a bicycle and are very quick at pedalling, you've got no chance of going to visit anywhere. It's an absolute nightmare, and it's very reminiscent now of lockdown. Like, people are really stripped back to the bare minimum in terms of rail travel right now. And it's all down to a pay dispute, very boring pay dispute.
All those people wanting extra money.
Not anything fun, is it? It's just,
No.
it's a pay dispute. They want 11% to match the rate of inflation. Look, I mean, can you blame them? Cost of living over there, I suppose,
Yeah, but it
is post-COVID.
I've actually had enough of them, to be honest, a little
Have
bit.
you?
Yeah, it's a pretty, I'm usually all up for people in the public sector getting paid more. They're typically not paid very well. They do jobs that not many people want. Nurses got a 3% pay rise, which is an absolute joke, really.
They've been on the front line. Yeah.
And so the rail staff and the tube workers have been offered the same amount, 3%, and they've turned it down. They want between 7 and 11 for the rate of inflation. I mean, I just remember, growing up and obviously living in London for a very long time, there was a tube strike every other week. I just think they've kind of lost the point of that kind of last-ditch action now. That's when things get really bad and you have no other solution.
It's bad, though. This is bad. I mean, we're talking some rail services are going to be scaled back to the point where you'll get one every 4 hours.
Because they're striking.
4 hours, though. I mean, can you imagine if you've got a commute right now?
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, it's not going to impact half as badly as it has done in the past. Because in the past, obviously, they've got so much leverage on the basis that everybody gets on the train and everybody gets around using it. And so they've got all this leverage. So they go and strike because it's an easy way to go, well, what are you going to do without us? The problem is that everybody's been working home for the best part of 2 years.
And that's
so everyone's going to go, don't care. And so they don't have the leverage anymore. And so I think they're going to find out. Do you know that last year there was a Freedom of Information release, right? And they basically found out that tube drivers earn £56,000 a year, right? It's $100,000 a year.
That's pretty damn good.
They're doing okay, right? And the thing about most public sector workers is, the thing I feel sorry for them, and the reason they should earn more money, is because they deal with the public, who, let's be honest, are dicks most of the time, aren't they?
You swore. That's well done.
I know, yeah. But tube drivers don't. They sit in a little carriage of their own. They're locked in. Yeah, it's semi-automated. They don't do anything.
Tell that to the people who dealt with the tube and the London terror attacks.
Yeah, look,
people they have to deal with some terrible situations.
Yeah, sorry, I feel like that's a really hard thing to throw back at me. I don't have an answer to that. But to be honest, there was lots of people that dealt with that don't get paid enough to do what they do either.
And think now of the impact on the bus drivers, because if you're a bus wanker now, I tell you what, it's hard work.
That's the thing, right? Bus drivers, I would never do that job in a million years. Honestly, I've got night buses in London, and you're basically a private detective.
Did you get on the red ones?
The red ones, yeah, we have red ones.
I say that we don't have the red buses up north.
Do you have
It's a bit of a novelty to us. Yeah, you always see them on telly.
But yeah, honestly, dealing with the public at night time on a night bus on a route through inner city London, give those people a pay rise. Don't give people that sit in a little carriage in a locked door extra
controversial.
Money.
So Mr. Tube Driver's not listening anymore. Sorry, see you later, bye. Well, I think that the working from home thing, though, a lot of people are very happy with this rail strike now because they're like, great, get to work from home in my jimmies. Yeah. It's great. So they put the pajamas on and, get to save on the rail fares. Some people are saying, well, you haven't got a pay rise, but you've effectively given us one because we don't have to pay to get on the tube or get the train anymore, which basically means that they get to, lig at home, we don't have to pay for lunch, all those sorts of things. So, but it's going to cause chaos for all those people wanting a bit of a getaway because it's the school holidays coming up. And I know when we lived back in the UK, we'd avoid school holidays like the plague because they were the most expensive time to go away. So you try and get a sneak in a bit of a getaway before. However, you're not going to be able to do that now.
You had all your holidays during term time, right? That explains.
I didn't always live there as a student. But that's the thing. Everybody that's wanting to get away before the costs get really expensive now is going to lose that opportunity. And the weather's actually pretty good in some places.
Yeah, so staycations.
Well, that's it. How can you do it? The whole point of a staycation is that you at least go somewhere, like out of the house.
Well, maybe they can
get there on your bike or don't go at all, basically.
Maybe they can just all get on flights.
Yeah, maybe not, because that's the other shit show that's going on. Look at this. I mean, there's far more bags than this that have been stranded. So these are uncollected pieces of luggage that have been left at Heathrow Airport because people haven't got their luggage in time at the carousels. Now they've been, at some points, tens of thousands of pieces of luggage hanging around at Heathrow Airport, as well as thousands of people that have been unable to get on flights. Yep. I mean, I know when I was back in the UK in April, this was a problem at Manchester.
Oh, really? Okay.
And now it's still going on.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that I was at a work event this morning and Mr. Alan Joyce, CEO of Qantas, was there and he said that this is going to be a problem, he reckons, for the next 12 months across UK and Europe airports. He says it's not going to get any better because it's staff shortages. Yeah. You've laid off all the people during the pandemic and now you want them to come back during the time that people are wanting a lifestyle change. I mean, the great resignation's happening. People are leaving, wanting to work from home, wanting to work 3 days a week. Some people are working 4 days a week, which we've already discussed. And and then now they've got no staff. They're having to bring management staff down from the offices to help with the nuts and bolts of actually just getting people on flights. Yeah. It's all hands on deck right now. It's an absolute schmozzle. There's technical issues. It's just an absolute mess and really disappointing for anybody wanting to get away right now. I'm really sad for them because you live for your holidays over there, don't you?
Yeah. And I mean, I think just the weekend gone, I think something like 1,000 passengers didn't get on flights. There's 30 flights cancelled. 10% of all flights coming into Heathrow, I think, were cancelled. So obviously lots of people missing out on the one thing that they actually look forward to every year. So it's a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I do on this again, I obviously the pandemic was completely unpredictable and something that was really hard to gauge when it would start, when it would end, all that kind of stuff. But I just don't see anybody doing enough to retrain or bring different people in or, kind of think a bit more outside the box.
It takes time though, right? I mean, we've literally just opened the borders like this and it's like, right, we want to travel now.
But on that note, if it takes time, don't make all of those flights available if you don't have all the backup stuff.
That would cause a huge backlash.
I know. But
and they cost a fortune then because they're being short supply.
Yeah, true. But at the moment, people are paying for them and not going. So I don't know what's better. And
I don't know whether insurance covers this. Probably not. I imagine insurance companies cover their ass for these sorts of things. Yeah. But I mean, even had situations as well where we've had a pilot having to help the ground crew load up a plane, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's an Edelweiss air flight. I've never heard of them, have you? From Edinburgh to Zurich.
Sound of music.
Yes. Yeah. If I look at this footage. So yeah, pretty shocking that even the pilot's having to help. Hopefully there's not health.
Him.
Yeah, hopefully there's not health and safety involved and he pulls his back out or anything like that.
But moved a couple of bits of pieces
Compo
of luggage
culture over there. Yeah, can you imagine? Exactly. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, I'm getting my own pay rise.
Footage goes viral of this guy helping out and then he goes, compensation claim, I hurt my back.
Laters, my retirement, thanks very much. But if you do manage to get away, you've got to make sure that if you go to Spain, you don't pee in the sea.
Okay, cool.
Because look at this. This is amazing. It's my favourite story that we're going to discuss today. So if you're travelling to Spain, you'll get fined the equivalent of $1,100 if you're caught peeing in the sea in Spain. Now, that is a problem because I don't know how they're going to police this.
Oh yeah, I know. It's absolutely impossible.
I mean, did you ever used to get this when you're a kid? If you pee in the swimming pool, that you used to get spun a yarn about by your parents. Right?
Oh, the chemical in
it
goes purple.
We used to get told that there was a purple cloud that appeared above your head if you peed in the water.
Above your head?
Yeah. So
sorry, this isn't.
It'd hover above you.
I don't know how to deal with this right now. Honestly, it's not a myth, right? There is a chemical that you can put into swimming pools that turns the water purple. No one's getting little purple clouds above their heads.
I got told that. I also got told,
How old were you? Like 17?
The smoke alarm light was Santa watching as well, but we won't talk about
Oh my God.
the stuff my parents had to do to get me to behave.
That purple thing over your head is the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
We got told that.
It's a real thing though. Why not just say the real thing?
Is it a real thing?
Yeah.
Let's get an expert to talk about this for us next week.
No. There's just a chemical compound that you put into swimming pools so that when urine hits the swimming pool, it goes purple. It changes the colour of the water.
I'm today years old when I'm learning this out. This is amazing.
But you just thought it was above your head. I don't understand.
And they put it in the sea then in Spain.
I don't know if they can put it in the sea. There's two problems. One, it's not a confined area, and two, it would just look like an oil spill at all times. It's hardly an attractive thing to go and look for.
It's pretty gross, isn't it? I mean, I must say, people do it. You just know people do it. I haven't done it. I haven't done it.
All right.
People do it, I'm sure. Right? I've heard about surfers doing this, right? Because apparently it warms a wetsuit up when it's cold. It's disgusting, right? And not fun for anybody around you. I've been snorkeling and swum through warm spots, and I tell you, it's disgusting. So don't do it. Even if without the threat of a fine. I know they're not going to police it, but just don't pee in the sea, right?
Oh, come on. There's nothing wrong with finding a little space that no one else is around. And
that's disgusting, Bakes.
It's just a little wee.
Minging.
It's just a little wee. We all do it. We've all got bodies.
Anyway, before Bakes goes down that path.
Well, hold on. There was actually one thing on there that, so I don't know if this is kind of grown and kind of gathered momentum from being something a little bit different, but I think the original sign said no peeing on the beach and in the sea, right? I agree with no peeing on the beach.
Yeah,
that's mad.
Again, you're going to the sand pretty quickly, you'd think.
Yeah, and then all those purple clouds above people's heads, it'd be chaos, wouldn't it?
But there's a whole list of rules now for tourists in certain areas of Spain, and as well as, there's ridiculous peeing in the sea rule. But there's also, you can't, and this is an interesting one, this is going to affect a lot of Brits. You can't walk to or from the beach in your swimwear, or you could be fined 250 quid. So it's about $450. Mm-hmm. So that means no hooligans without the shirts on, right?
Hooligans.
And hooligans.
All those hooligans enjoying summer.
And, walking around in swimmers, you get done. Imagine that over here. Everybody on Scarborough beachfront, right? Fines. They make a fortune. I tell you what, taxes would be less because they make so much money off just people on Scarborough beachfront. Hillary's same. So men walking out with shirts on. So you've also got fines being handed out in Mallorca and Barcelona for this already. Mm-hmm. No nudity at all. Topless sunbathing, that's out unless you're on a nudist beach.
Yep.
Otherwise, 620 quid fine. That's over $1,000.
I don't really like.
I kind of get that.
Yeah, I don't want to really get into a debate about whether or not people should be able to sunbathe nude or whatever, because whatever, I don't really care.
Imagine the melanomas.
But it's fine. Just don't bother.
Yeah, don't. You're not going to put sun cream on there, so just don't, right?
Why wouldn't you put sun cream?
Bans on barbecues in the beaches at some areas
that's fine as well.
Barbecue on the beach.
You don't need a barbecue.
You live in Australia. There's a fire ban over here. How can you say that?
No, as in don't do barbecue on the beach. It's absolutely fine not to barbecue on the beach.
Why do you need to?
Just go to the beach and then eat.
Go to the beach bar
somewhere else. Or the beach bar, yeah.
Yeah, another one. You can't reserve, a spot on the sand with your towel.
A spot on the sand?
So on the beach.
Anywhere?
You can't just parts of Spain, so you can't just go and throw out your towel and go reserved.
No, but I thought it was on where some...
Pools?
No, some beaches have their own...
Sunbeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and you know what? And this is a thing, and they should, if they're not done away with this, they should already. People buy those pram clips, right?
Yeah.
You know, pram clips that mums and dads have.
Yep.
And they buy them up at the airport, and then they clip them onto the towels and the sunbeds so that the towel doesn't go anywhere, so that they can reserve a sunbed. That's a thing.
Is it?
It is a thing. I went to Greece, right, a couple of years ago, and that was a thing.
And your mum told you to be wary of the...
Buy some pram clips. No, seriously. And everyone were buying it. I couldn't believe it. We got up at 8 o'clock and all the sunbeds were taken. because they're all there. And it wasn't just the people you're thinking either. It was all...
I don't know what you mean by that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You know exactly who. Well, let's just get this out in the open, right? Everybody's thinking it's the Germans that are all up to it, aren't they? It's not, right? I have it on good authority that a lot of English people do this.
I'm sure they do.
Everybody does it. It's disgusting, right? I'm sorry. If you cannot be asked hanging around in your spot, then off you go. I reckon they should do what they do on telly and shove them all into the pool. I've seen that happen actually once. One towel, shove it into the pool and go, right, no reserving sunbeds.
I feel like you're having fever dreams.
Is it?
I don't know what's going on.
It's a thing. It is a thing. It bothers me, right? Don't reserve places with your towels. It's like people who like reserve seats as on buses, right, with a handbag. Just don't. You can't. It's not allowed. You can't actually reserve them, right? Anyway, you can cop a fine for it now.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Honestly, I was going to do a perfect segue into the next thing, but I just need to move on in any way, shape, or form because, I feel like I've got a migraine.
There she is.
Kate Bush.
How are you going to get onto that
Kate Bush?
one? I don't want to know what your segue was.
No.
Please tell me it wasn't when you were talking about nudie speeches.
No. Oh my god. It was going to be stranger things have happened than people going to the toilet.
That's very good. That's good.
Thank you. There's Kate Bush, the singer.
God bless her. God bless Kate Bush.
She's hit number 1.
Yes, she has. Moving on. Anyway.
No. Nearly 40 years after releasing Running Up That Hill, she's hit number 1 again, and it's all thanks to Strange Things.
It's all over TikTok, right? And this is weird. Were you even alive when this song was out first time?
Unfortunately, yes.
You were?
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Okay, but thanks for revealing kind of, sort of my age.
Like you're ancient.
Yeah.
Look, I can't believe this. I'd never even heard the song before.
What?
I hadn't heard it. And then I saw it on TikTok. I'm like, what's this all about, right? Because I'm down with the kids. I'm on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
And I went through TikTok and there's just all this, everyone's playing this goddamn song. And it's Kate Bush.
Yeah,
so,
and
it's like, I can't believe it that she's at number 1 again, thanks to Stranger Things. Yeah. It's part of, even the actor who played like the character who's like central to all of this, hadn't even heard of her.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
before all this had happened.
I mean, they are like 15 though, right? Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
She's even beat out Harry Styles.
Yeah, good for her.
And Harry Styles is a good album, by the way, as it was, his new single. She's beat out him. Love Harry Styles. Really like Harry. But you know how much she's making off this, right? Imagine putting out some...
I do, but for the purposes of this, tell me, surprise me.
250,000 quid a week.
Yeah.
Off this song.
I know.
Now.
Yeah, pretty remarkable. But so it's actually, I think it's her biggest hit in the US ever. So 40 years after the fact, I think it's
mad.
I think it's maybe her biggest hit as well, here as well, or it's gone to number 1.
Wuthering Heights has got to be up there, surely.
That's a cracker. Oh my god.
What's the other one that she did that were really good? There was another really good one. No. Anyway. There's another good one that I really like, but I've forgotten what it is.
Okay,
anyway.
Good chat.
Yeah. you read it in my head one day.
Yes.
Well, Kate Bush, fantastic. I think that's wonderful. Well deserved. Love her. She's ace. Iconic.
Yep. Okay, so now I have to use iconic to go into Boris Johnson.
Talking of iconic.
Moving on to slightly more serious news.
I roll.
Yeah, this is quite strange and obviously quite controversial, particularly for us given the industry that we're in.
Yes.
But for those of you that don't know, there was a story in the Times this week, 5th page I think it was, a story about Boris Johnson and allegations that he gave Carrie Johnson, then Carrie Simmons, he was trying to give her a cushy job when he was Foreign Press Secretary.
100 grand a year.
100
English.
grand a year, yeah. English grands.
Yeah.
And so they ran the story and it got pulled at the last minute. And 10 Downing Street has
made it into some editions of the paper,
yes,
though, right?
the first edition, yeah.
So that's how we know it exists.
Exactly, yeah. And so I think it was also online very briefly and then that got pulled as well. But so it got pulled on the basis, and 10 Downing Street have now conceded that they called the Times and asked for it to be taken out. All a bit strange.
And then they've taken it down, right?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, there's something gone on here, isn't there? I mean, clearly, perhaps potentially some legal action. You know, I think about the reasons that we'd remove a story.
Yep.
Probably going to be a legal complaint. It'd have to be something pretty big, though, for a story like that to be taken out of the paper. Have to be something pretty huge.
But I think
and they haven't explained the reason why. So it's all a bit of a mystery.
Well, so there's a couple of problems with it. One, the Times haven't come out and said anything about why they've actually pulled it. The freelance journalist that was actually behind the story has said he's 100% standing by his own story.
Fair enough.
Other political
Damages his credibility otherwise.
Other political sources have spoken to other papers to say it's true. They believe it to be true. Dominic Cummings has come out and said it's true. I mean, he's got an axe to grind, but he's said it's true. And also, it's an allegation that's been published before. It's an allegation that's been published in Lord Ashcroft's autobiography.
Were they offered some sort of exclusive or something? Have they ruined that? Is there some sort of deal that's gone on? I don't know. I'd love to know what's gone on there.
Yeah, I think ultimately for us, like as journalists and as people in this industry, I think it's quite sad that someone has that kind of weight that they can get an independent newspaper to remove a story, but without knowing the full information. You know? Exactly. Yeah, but without knowing the full information, it might come more to light. Maybe there was an element of the story that was completely infactual.
There's calls for inquiry now as well into this. Having a look into the whole situation as well.
Another inquiry.
Yay, fun. Can we just get on with running the country for God's sake?
Yeah, but maybe don't allegedly give your at the time your extramarital affair lady.
Yeah,
I don't know what
mistress,
the word is. Yeah, that's the one.
We say these days. I think that's still politically correct. If not, I'll say it, so I'll get fired.
Yeah, exactly. Don't give your mistress a 100k job, or try and get her a 100k job.
Dodge.
Yeah.
Allegedly, dodge.
I feel like we've gone off topic. I feel like this whole episode has been like one off-topic episode.
A little bit. Do you reckon anybody's still listening or watching? Probably not. But if you are, at least give us a subscribe, because that'd be lovely. And make sure we can come back next week and talk waffle.
Thank you. Cheers.